Welcome to Earth's most breathtaking natural wonders, places so majestic they seem impossible to believe. From the ancient alkaline waters of California's Mono Lake to the surreal, magical landscapes of Bolivia's vast salt flats, we're about to explore destinations that have captivated explorers, scientists, and dreamers for generations. These aren't just beautiful places, they're living laboratories of evolution, geological marvels millions of years in the making, and cultural treasures that have shaped civilizations. Today, we'll traverse 3 continents, dive beneath turquoise waters, stand on prehistoric landscapes, and witness geological phenomena that scientists are still trying to fully understand. We're talking about places where the laws of nature create spectacles so stunning, so surreal, that they challenge everything we think we know about our world. Each destination tells a story millions of years in the making, stories of volcanic fury, ancient seas, evolutionary marvels, and the patient, persistent hand of time sculpting masterpieces from stone, salt, and coral. But here's a question I want you to ponder as we begin. What is it about these natural wonders that calls to something deep within us? Is it the humility we feel when confronted with Earth's raw power, or perhaps the connection to something greater than ourselves? Before we get started, hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell so you never miss any of our adventures. Check out the links in the description below in the comments for deals on flights and accommodations to all the destinations we'll be exploring today. Make your adventure a reality. Now, let's get started on our journey. Mono Lake, USA. Nestled in the dramatic eastern Sierra Nevada of California, just a few miles east of Yosemite National Park, Mono Lake sits at an elevation of 6,380 feet above sea level, like a jewel in the high desert. This ancient body of water, covering approximately 65 square miles, is one of North America's oldest continuously existing lakes, estimated to be at least 760,000 years old, though some scientists believe it could be more than 1 million years in the making. The geographical setting of Mono Lake is nothing short of spectacular. Surrounded by the snow-capped peaks of the Sierra Nevada to the west and the volcanic Mono craters to the south, this terminal lake, meaning it has no outlet, sits in what's known as the Great Basin. The Owens River feeds into it, but water only leaves through evaporation, creating a unique chemical composition that has made Mono Lake 2.5 times saltier than the ocean and 80 times more alkaline. The result? A pH level of 10, about the same as household ammonia. The cultural and historical significance of Mono Lake runs deep through time. For thousands of years, the indigenous Kutsadika people, a band of northern Paiute, called the shores of this lake home. They named it Mono, and the lake provided them with an abundant food source, the pupae of the alkali flies that thrive in its waters. These protein-rich pupae, called kutsavi, were harvested, dried, and became a crucial dietary staple, even serving as a valuable trade commodity with other tribes across the Sierra Nevada. The Kutsadika people developed a profound spiritual connection with the lake, viewing it as a sacred place central to their identity and survival. European American settlers arrived in the 1850s during the California Gold Rush, and by 1863, the town of Bodie, one of the Wild West's most notorious gold mining camps, was established nearby. The lake witnessed the boom and bust of the mining era, but its most significant modern challenge came in 1941, when the Los Angeles Department of Water and Power began diverting streams that fed Mono Lake. Over the next 4 decades, the lake's water level dropped dramatically, losing approximately 45 vertical feet and doubling in salinity. This environmental crisis sparked one of the most important conservation battles in American history, led by the Mono Lake Committee, founded in 1978. Their efforts culminated in a landmark 1994 decision requiring the lake to be restored, a victory that has become a model for environmental protection worldwide. Now let's talk about what makes Mono Lake so visually stunning and scientifically fascinating. The lake's most iconic features are its tufa towers, otherworldly limestone formations that rise from the water like ancient cathedral spires or alien sculptures. These towers form through a chemical reaction. Calcium-bearing freshwater springs bubble up through the alkaline lake water, and where calcium meets carbonate, limestone precipitates. Over time, these deposits build upward, creating the towers we see today. Many of the visible tufa towers were actually formed underwater and only became exposed when water diversions lowered the lake level, an unintended consequence that, ironically, created one of California's most photographed landscapes. The ecosystem of Mono Lake is equally remarkable. Despite its harsh chemistry, the lake teems with life. Trillions of brine shrimp thrive in its waters, along with alkali flies that are so well adapted they can walk underwater in air bubbles to feed and lay eggs. This abundance of invertebrates creates a vital feeding ground for millions of migratory birds. California gulls arrive each spring to breed on the lake's islands. In fact, about 50,000 gulls nest here annually, representing one of the world's second-largest breeding colonies of this species. During migration seasons, phalaropes, grebes, and numerous other bird species stop to refuel, with some 80 to 100 different bird species visiting throughout the year. The landscape surrounding Mono Lake offers even more wonders. The South Tufa area, with its boardwalk trails winding among the towers, provides the most accessible viewing experience, especially stunning at sunrise and sunset when the formations glow in golden and pink hues against the Sierra backdrop. The Black Point fissures, formed during volcanic eruptions, create geometric patterns in the earth that look almost deliberately carved. Panam Crater, a 600-year-old volcanic dome, offers hiking opportunities with panoramic views. And in nearby Lee Vining Canyon, visitors can explore additional tufa formations at Navy Beach and witness the contrast between the stark lake environment and the lush aspen groves that turn brilliant gold each autumn. Today, Mono Lake stands as both a natural wonder and a testament to the power of environmental activism. The lake's water level has risen more than 16 feet since restoration efforts began, though it hasn't yet reached the court-mandated target elevation. Scientists continue to study this unique ecosystem, making discoveries about extremophile microorganisms that could have implications for understanding life on other planets. Mono Lake is a 760,000-year-old alkaline lake in California's eastern Sierra that has sustained indigenous peoples for millennia, survived a major environmental crisis, and emerged as one of America's most important conservation success stories. Its surreal tufa towers, thriving despite extreme chemistry, and crucial role as a bird migration haven make it a must-visit destination for anyone who appreciates where natural beauty, scientific wonder, and environmental history intersect. Great Barrier Reef, Australia. Stretching over 1,400 miles along the northeastern coast of Queensland, Australia, the Great Barrier Reef isn't just the world's largest coral reef system. It's the largest living structure on planet Earth, visible even from outer space. This marine wonderland comprises approximately 2,900 individual reefs and 900 islands sprawling across roughly 133,000 square miles of the Coral Sea. To put that in perspective, it's larger than the entire United Kingdom, Holland, and Switzerland combined. Geographically, the Great Barrier Reef sits in the Coral Sea, off the coast of Queensland in northeastern Australia, extending from the Torres Strait near Papua New Guinea in the north to just north of Bundaberg in the south. The reef system follows the continental shelf, ranging from 15 to 150 kilometers offshore, with water depths varying from shallow intertidal zones to over 2,000 meters in outer areas. The reef's location within tropical waters, between 10 and 20 degrees south of the equator, provides the warm, clear, sunlit conditions that coral polyps need to thrive. The complex structure includes fringing reefs along coastlines, platform reefs on the continental shelf, and ribbon reefs in the north, each supporting distinct communities of marine life. The cultural history of the Great Barrier Reef is deeply rooted in Aboriginal Australian and Torres Strait Islander heritage, spanning more than 60,000 years. For the indigenous peoples of this region, including groups like the Gimai Walubara Yidinji, Yuraganaji, Mandingalbe Yidinji, Gunganji, and many others, the reef has always been known by various names in their languages, and it holds profound spiritual significance. These traditional owners have maintained an intimate relationship with the reef, developing sophisticated knowledge of its ecosystems, seasonal patterns, and marine resources. Their oral traditions contain detailed accounts of the reef's formation, including stories that align remarkably with scientific understanding of sea level changes following the last ice age. The reef provided sustenance through fishing and supported trade networks across coastal communities. Today, over 70 traditional owner clan groups maintain cultural connections to the reef, and their traditional ecological knowledge is increasingly recognized as vital for modern conservation efforts. European awareness of the reef came dramatically in 1770 when Captain James Cook's HMS Endeavour struck it near present-day Cooktown, nearly sinking the ship. This treacherous encounter gave early European explorers a healthy respect for what they initially saw as a massive navigation hazard rather than a natural wonder. The reef is built by billions of tiny organisms called coral polyps, creatures related to sea anemones and jellyfish. These polyps secrete calcium carbonate to form a protective skeleton, and over thousands of years, these skeletons accumulate to create the massive structures we see today. The reef hosts about 600 types of hard and soft corals, displaying a rainbow of colors: vivid purples, electric blues, bright yellows, and passionate pinks. But here's the fascinating part. Corals aren't just pretty rocks. They're living animals in a symbiotic relationship with microscopic algae called zooxanthellae, which live inside coral tissue and provide up to 90% of the coral's energy through photosynthesis, while the coral provides the algae with protection and nutrients. The biodiversity of the Great Barrier Reef is staggering and humbling in equal measure. This single ecosystem supports approximately 1,500 species of fish, from the tiny neon gobies to massive potato cod, from the elegant Moorish idols to the peculiar parrotfish that munch on coral and excrete sand. 6 of the world's 7 marine turtle species nest on reef islands and forage in reef waters, including the endangered green sea turtle and the critically endangered hawksbill turtle. Climate change poses an existential threat through ocean warming and acidification. The reef has experienced multiple mass bleaching events in recent years. In 2016, 2017, 2020, and 2022, where stressed corals expel their zooxanthellae, turning white and often dying if conditions don't improve quickly. The 2016 bleaching event alone killed approximately 30% of the reef's corals. Scientists and conservationists are working on innovative solutions. Coral gardening and transplantation programs assisted evolution to develop heat-resistant coral strains, improved water quality management, and strict marine park regulations. The future of the reef depends on both global action to address climate change and local management to reduce other stressors. The Great Barrier Reef is Earth's largest living structure, a 1,400-mile underwater wonderland along Australia's Queensland coast that has sustained indigenous cultures for over 60,000 years and now faces critical challenges from climate change. Its extraordinary biodiversity, thousands of species of fish, corals, turtles, and marine life, makes it both a bucket list destination for travelers and a crucial ecosystem requiring our urgent protection and respect. Galapagos Islands, Ecuador. Approximately 600 miles west of mainland Ecuador, the Galapagos Islands rise from the sea like prehistoric sentinels of evolution itself. This volcanic archipelago consists of 13 major islands, 6 smaller islands, and over 40 islets and rocks, scattered across 17,000 square miles of ocean at the equator. The islands straddle the equatorial line, with the northernmost island, Darwin, sitting just above it, while the southernmost, Espanola, lies well below, a geographic position that influences the surprising diversity of climates and ecosystems found here. The Galapagos Islands sit at the convergence of 3 major ocean currents: the cold Humboldt Current from the south, the warm Panama Current from the northeast, and the cold Cromwell Current that upwells from the deep ocean. This unique oceanographic situation creates a remarkable blend of tropical and temperate conditions, allowing penguins and coral reefs to coexist in the same archipelago. Geologically, these islands are relatively young, with the oldest island, Hispaniola, estimated at just 3.3 million years old, while the westernmost islands, Isabella and Fernandina, are still being actively formed by volcanic activity. The islands rest on the Nazca tectonic plate, which moves eastward over a volcanic hotspot, creating the archipelago like a conveyor belt, new islands forming in the west, while older ones drift eastward and gradually erode. The human history of the Galapagos began much later than most places on Earth. Archaeological evidence suggests that indigenous peoples from South America may have reached the islands as early as 200 BC, but no permanent settlements existed before European arrival. The islands were officially discovered by Europeans in 1535 when Tomás de Berlanga, the Bishop of Panama, drifted off course while sailing to Peru. He reported the islands to the Spanish King Charles V, describing the strange tortoises and tameness of the birds. The Spanish named them Las Encantadas, the Enchanted Isles, because strong currents made navigation difficult, giving the impression the islands moved. For the next 3 centuries, the Galapagos served primarily as a base for pirates and whalers, who decimated the giant tortoise populations, taking tens of thousands aboard ships as living food supplies. Everything changed in 1835 when a 26-year-old naturalist named Charles Darwin arrived aboard HMS Beagle. During his 5-week visit, Darwin observed variations in mockingbirds, finches, and tortoises between islands, noting that each island seemed to have its own distinct forms. Though Darwin didn't immediately grasp the full significance of these observations, they became crucial evidence for his theory of evolution by natural selection, published in On the Origin of Species in 1859. Darwin's work transformed the Galapagos from an obscure archipelago into perhaps the most scientifically significant location on Earth, a place where the mechanisms of evolution could be observed in real time. Ecuador officially annexed the islands in 1832, and in 1959, on the centenary of Darwin's groundbreaking book, the Ecuadorian government declared 97% of the land area a national park. In 1978, UNESCO designated the islands as one of the first World Heritage Sites in the world. The islands host an impressive roster of endemic species found nowhere else on Earth. The Galapagos giant tortoises, which can weigh over 900 pounds and live for more than 100 years, represent different subspecies on different islands, some with dome-shaped shells adapted for humid highland browsing, others with saddle-shaped shells allowing them to reach higher vegetation in arid environments. Darwin's finches, those humble brown birds that helped unlock evolution's secrets, exist in 18 different species, each with differently shaped beaks adapted to specific food sources, from crushing hard seeds to catching insects to even drinking blood from other birds. The marine iguana, found on rocky shores throughout the archipelago, is the only lizard that forages in the sea, diving up to 30 feet deep and holding its breath for an hour. Each island offers distinct experiences and ecosystems. Santa Cruz, home to the Charles Darwin Research Station, and the town of Puerto Ayora, provides the primary visitor infrastructure and opportunities to see giant tortoises in both captivity and wild highlands. Isabela, the largest island formed by 6 volcanic shields, offers dramatic volcanic landscapes, excellent snorkeling at Lowe's tunnels, and flamingo-filled lagoons. Conservation efforts in the Galapagos face ongoing challenges. Invasive species like rats, goats, and blackberry bushes threaten native ecosystems. Increasing tourism, though economically vital, risks loving the islands to death. Climate change affects ocean currents and temperatures, impacting marine life, and illegal fishing continues despite patrols. The Galapagos Islands, an isolated volcanic archipelago 600 miles off Ecuador's coast, inspired Darwin's theory of evolution and remain a living laboratory of adaptation and natural selection. With fearless endemic wildlife found nowhere else, from giant tortoises and marine iguanas to blue-footed boobies and Darwin's finches, these islands offer unparalleled opportunities to witness evolution in action, provided we maintain the delicate balance between human visitation and ecosystem preservation. Chocolate Hills, Philippines. In the heart of Bohol Island, in the central Visayas region of the Philippines, lies one of the world's most peculiar and photogenic geological formations, the Chocolate Hills. This extraordinary landscape consists of at least 1,260 perfectly cone-shaped hills spread across roughly 20 square miles of the island's interior, creating an almost surreal vista that looks more like something from a fantasy novel than a natural landform. These geological oddities rise between 100 and 390 feet high, remarkably uniform in shape, creating an undulating sea of rounded peaks that transforms dramatically with the seasons. The Chocolate Hills are located primarily in the town of Carmen, though they extend into the municipalities of Batuan, Sagbayan, and Valencia in Bohol province. Bohol itself sits in the central Visayas region of the Philippines, roughly 400 miles south of Manila, and easily accessible via ferry from Cebu or direct flights to Tagbilaran City. The hills occupy a limestone plateau that forms part of the Viscount Island arc, a complex geological zone where tectonic activity, volcanic processes, and millions of years of marine sedimentation have created diverse landscapes. The region experiences a tropical maritime climate with a distinct dry season from December to May and a wet season from June to November. And it's the transition between these seasons that gives the hills their famous chocolate appearance. For the indigenous people of Bohol, these hills have been part of the landscape for as long as oral tradition remembers, and numerous legends explain their origin. The most popular legend tells of two giants who fought each other by throwing rocks and sand across the landscape for days. When they finally exhausted themselves and reconciled their differences, they left the battlefield without cleaning up the mess, and those hurled boulders became the Chocolate Hills. Another charming legend speaks of a giant named Arogo who fell in love with a mortal woman named Aloya. When she died, the giant wept endlessly, and his tears dried to form the hills. A third version describes the hills as the dried tears of a giant mourning his lost love. While these stories are folkloric rather than historical, they reflect how communities create meaning and connection with extraordinary landscapes. The hills achieved official recognition relatively recently in Philippines history. During the American colonial period and early Philippine independence, the hills remained largely a local curiosity, known to Boholanos, but not widely promoted to outsiders. This changed dramatically in the 1960s and 1970s when the Philippine government began developing domestic tourism. The Chocolate Hills became a centerpiece of Bohol tourism promotion, appearing on the provincial seal and flag. In 1988, the national government declared the Chocolate Hills a National Geological Monument, recognizing both their scientific importance and their value as a natural heritage site. Today, they're considered the third National Geological Monument of the Philippines and have been proposed for inclusion in the UNESCO World Heritage List, though the application process continues. The scientific explanation for the Chocolate Hills formation remains debated among geologists, adding to their mystique. The most widely accepted theory suggests they formed through a combination of geological processes over millions of years. During the Pliocene and Pleistocene epochs, this area was submerged beneath a shallow tropical sea. Marine organisms, particularly coral and shellfish, lived and died here for eons, their calcium carbonate skeletons accumulating on the seafloor, compressing into thick layers of limestone. When tectonic forces gradually lifted the seafloor above water, a process called marine regression, the limestone became terrestrial. Then weathering and erosion took over. Rainwater, which becomes slightly acidic, as it absorbs carbon dioxide from the atmosphere, slowly dissolved the limestone in a process called karstification. Over hundreds of thousands of years, this chemical weathering, combined with surface erosion from rainfall, gradually shaped the limestone into the uniform conical hills we see today. The name Chocolate Hills comes from the dramatic seasonal transformation that occurs during the dry season, roughly from February to May. During the wet season, the hills are covered in lush green grass and vegetation, creating a verdant landscape of emerald mounds. But as the dry season progresses and rainfall becomes scarce, the grass covering the hills dries out and turns a rich brown color, remarkably similar to Hershey's Kisses chocolate candies lined up in endless rows across the landscape. This chocolate brown appearance typically peaks in April and early May, just before the return of seasonal rains. The transformation is so complete and the color so uniform that first-time visitors often wonder if it's somehow artificial, though it's entirely natural. The Chocolate Hills of Bohol, Philippines, comprise over 1,260 mysteriously uniform cone-shaped limestone hills that transform from green to chocolate brown with the seasons, a geological formation still debated by scientists and explained by giants in local legend. These national geological monuments represent one of the most visually distinctive landscapes in Southeast Asia, offering visitors a glimpse of nature's capacity to create beauty through millions of years of patient geological processes. Great Blue Hole, Belize. "60 miles off the coast of Belize, near the center of Lighthouse Reef Atoll, a massive circular cavity descends into the Caribbean Sea like a sapphire portal to Earth's ancient past. The Great Blue Hole measures approximately 1,000 feet across and plunges 410 feet deep, its remarkably circular form and deep indigo color contrasting dramatically with the turquoise shallows of the surrounding reef. From above, whether viewed from a plane or via satellite imagery, it appears as a nearly perfect dark blue circle, an eye staring up from the ocean floor, an image so striking it has become one of the most recognizable natural landmarks on our planet. The Great Blue Hole sits within the Belize Barrier Reef Reserve System, part of the Mesoamerican Reef, the second largest coral reef system in the world, stretching from Mexico's Yucatan Peninsula down through Belize, Guatemala, and Honduras. Lighthouse Reef, where the Blue Hole is located, is an atoll, a ring-shaped coral reef encircling a lagoon, lying about 70 kilometers from the Belizean coast in the Caribbean Sea. The atoll itself spans roughly 40 kilometers north to south, with the blue hole positioned near its center. The surrounding reef structure creates a protected environment where the deeper circular hole stands out dramatically. The entire reef system was designated a UNESCO World Heritage Site in 1996, recognizing its outstanding universal value as one of the most pristine reef ecosystems in the Atlantic Caribbean region. The cultural and historical context of the Great Blue Hole connects to both ancient Mayan civilization and modern diving exploration. The ancient Maya, who dominated the region from approximately 2000 BCE until the Spanish conquest in the 16th century, were skilled navigators who undoubtedly knew the reef systems around their territory. While there's no direct evidence they explored the Blue Hole itself, it would have been a challenging dive, even in shallow freediving attempts. They certainly fished the surrounding waters and may have regarded the deep hole with spiritual significance. Modern awareness of the Great Blue Hole emerged in the mid-20th century as recreational scuba diving developed. The legendary French marine explorer Jacques Cousteau brought the site to international fame in 1971 when he sailed his research vessel, the Calypso, to investigate the hole. Cousteau ranked the Great Blue Hole as one of the top 5 scuba diving sites in the world and brought it to television audiences through his documentaries. His exploration team used a small submarine to probe its depths and confirmed its identity as a submerged cave system, a theory that explained its formation but raised new questions about the climate history it recorded. Since Cousteau's visit, the Great Blue Hole has become a bucket list destination for advanced divers worldwide and a symbol of ocean exploration. The scientific explanation for the Great Blue Hole's formation involves a fascinating story of climate change, sea level fluctuations, and geological time. The hole began its existence not as an underwater feature, but as a terrestrial limestone cave system formed during the last ice age. During glacial periods, when vast amounts of water were locked in polar ice sheets, sea levels were approximately 400 feet lower than today. The land that is now Lighthouse Reef was above water, and rainwater seeping through cracks in the limestone bedrock gradually dissolved the rock through chemical weathering, creating an extensive cave system with stalactites, stalagmites, and underground chambers, similar to cavern systems found throughout Mexico's Yucatan Peninsula today. Then, as the last ice age ended around 10,000 to 15,000 years ago, global temperatures rose, ice sheets melted, and sea levels rose dramatically in what scientists call marine transgression. The rising ocean eventually flooded the cave system, and at some point, the cave's ceiling collapsed catastrophically, probably due to the weight of overlying rock no longer adequately supported once the cave filled with water. This collapse created the circular sinkhole we see today. The Great Blue Hole is essentially a drowned cave, a vertical window into a prehistoric subterranean world now permanently flooded. Similar formations exist elsewhere, like the blue holes of the Bahamas or Dean's Blue Hole, but none combines the size, accessibility, and dramatic setting of Belize's Great Blue Hole. What makes diving the Great Blue Hole uniquely compelling is the journey through distinct zones, each revealing different aspects of this geological time capsule. Entering the hole, divers descend through crystal-clear Caribbean waters where sunlight penetrates brilliantly, illuminating the circular rim where the reef gives way to the dark void. Around 40-50 feet depth, divers encounter the first overhang where massive limestone shelves jut out from the walls. These are the remains of the ancient cave structure. The Great Blue Hole is a 1,000-foot wide, 410-foot deep circular marine sinkhole in Belize's Lighthouse Reef, a drowned Ice Age cave system featuring spectacular underwater stalactites that offer geological evidence of past sea levels and climate changes. Made famous by Jacques Cousteau and now a bucket list dive site for advanced divers and a stunning spectacle for aerial tourists, this natural wonder represents both the ocean's mysterious beauty and the importance of protecting fragile marine environments for future generations. Salar de Uyuni, Bolivia. In the high Andes of southwest Bolivia, at an elevation of 11,995 feet above sea level, lies the largest salt flat on Earth, Salar de Uyuni, stretching across approximately 4,086 square miles, roughly the size of Jamaica or Connecticut. This vast white expanse represents one of the most visually striking and surreal landscapes anywhere on our planet. During the dry season, Salar de Uyuni appears as an endless white desert of hexagonal salt patterns extending to every horizon. During the rainy season, a thin layer of water transforms it into the world's largest natural mirror, perfectly reflecting the sky and creating an ethereal illusion where heaven and earth merge into one infinite space. Salar de Uyuni sits in the department of Potosi in southwest Bolivia, near the crest of the Andes mountain range at the southern end of the Altiplano, the high plateau that extends through Peru, Bolivia, Chile, and Argentina. The salt flat is surrounded by several mountain ranges and sits within the Altiplano Puna volcanic complex, a region characterized by volcanic peaks, geothermal activity, and high elevation endorheic basins, closed drainage systems with no outlet to the sea. The climate here is harsh and extreme. Intense solar radiation due to high elevation and low latitude. Temperatures ranging from above freezing during the day to well below freezing at night. Extremely low humidity and minimal annual precipitation. Though the summer rainy season from December to April brings enough water to create the famous mirror effect. The formation of Salar de Uyuni involves a geological story spanning thousands of years. The area was once covered by several prehistoric lakes. Lake Minchin, dating to 30,042,000 years ago, then Lake Torca, 14,010,000 years ago, and finally Lake Kaipasa. These ancient lakes, fed by rainfall and mountain runoff, had no outlet to the ocean, so minerals dissolved from surrounding volcanic rock gradually concentrated in the water. As the climate changed and the region became more arid over the past 10,000 years, these lakes evaporated, leaving behind their dissolved mineral content. The result, layers of salt and other minerals up to 30 feet thick in some places, creating the vast salt crust we see today. Beneath the salt crust lies a brine saltwater layer rich in lithium and other minerals, and below that, more salt and mineral deposits extending hundreds of feet deep. The cultural and historical significance of the region connects deeply to the indigenous peoples of the Altiplano, particularly the Aymara and Quechua communities who have inhabited this challenging environment for thousands of years. For these indigenous groups, the salt flats and surrounding landscape hold spiritual significance. The mountains are considered sacred apis, mountain spirits, and the harsh environment requires deep traditional knowledge to navigate and survive. Salt harvesting has been practiced on Salar de Uyuni for generations. During the dry season, local salt harvesters, or saleros, cut blocks of salt from the crust, which are then processed and iodized for consumption throughout Bolivia and neighboring countries. Small mounds of salt drying in the sun create geometric patterns across sections of the flat, and several small settlements exist on the edges where salt harvesting families maintain a traditional but difficult livelihood. The visual spectacle of Salar de Uyuni changes dramatically with the seasons, offering completely different but equally stunning experiences. During the dry season, May through October, the salt flat becomes a vast white desert, with the surface broken into polygonal patterns, hexagonal plates created by the expansion and contraction of salt crystals. The brilliant white surface, combined with the intense high-altitude sun and impossibly blue sky, creates almost blinding conditions where depth perception dissolves and perspective becomes meaningless. This is when visitors can drive freely across the salt, create forced perspective photographs using toy dinosaurs or people standing on someone's hand, and experience the sensation of infinite space. The rainy season, December through April, particularly January and February, transforms Salar de Uyuni into something altogether different and arguably more magical. A thin layer of water, often just a few inches deep, covers the salt flat, creating a perfect mirror surface. This mirror effect has made Salar de Uyuni one of the world's most photographed natural wonders and a favorite location for artists, photographers, and filmmakers seeking otherworldly settings. Salar de Uyuni in Bolivia is Earth's largest salt flat, covering over 4,000 square miles at nearly 12,000 feet elevation in the Andes, a vast white desert in the dry season, and the world's most perfect natural mirror when covered by shallow water in the rainy season. Beyond its stunning visual beauty, the Salar sits atop potentially the world's largest lithium reserves, and serves as a gateway to the surreal high-altitude desert landscapes of southwest Bolivia, where flamingo-filled colored lakes, bizarre rock formations, and geothermal wonders create one of the planet's most alien-looking regions. Geyser, Nevada, USA. Geyser stands as one of nature's most colorful and unusual geothermal features, with a twist. Unlike the ancient natural wonders we've explored so far, Geyser is actually an accidental human creation that nature has transformed into something extraordinary. Located on private land in Washoe County, approximately 20 miles north of Geological, Nevada, this continuously erupting geyser shoots scalding water up to 5 feet into the air, while terraced travertine mounds below have been sculptured into alien-looking formations and painted in brilliant greens, reds, and golds by thermophilic, heat-loving algae. Geyser sits within the Black Rock Desert, a region of the Great Basin covering northwestern Nevada. This area is part of the Basin and Range Province, a vast region of the western United States characterized by north-south trending mountain ranges separated by flat valleys. The Black Rock Desert itself is a dry lakebed, a playa that was once covered by ancient Lake Lahontan, a massive prehistoric body of water that existed during the last ice age and covered much of northwestern Nevada. As the climate warmed and dried, Lake Lahontan evaporated, leaving behind multiple smaller remnants and dry playas. Today, the Black Rock Desert is most famous as the home of Burning Man, the annual art and countercultural festival that attracts tens of thousands of participants each summer to its temporary city on the playa. The region sits atop significant geothermal activity. The western United States, particularly Nevada, has abundant geothermal resources due to the region's complex tectonic setting. The Basin and Range province is actively extending. The Earth's crust is literally being pulled apart, which allows heat from the mantle to reach closer to the surface. This creates hot springs, geysers, and geothermal reservoirs throughout Nevada. Indigenous peoples of the region, including the Northern Paiute, have utilized these hot springs for thousands of years for bathing, cooking, and spiritual ceremonies, recognizing certain geothermal features as sacred sites. The Paiute people knew the Black Rock Desert region as part of their traditional territory and had established seasonal patterns of resource use, adapted to this harsh but occasionally bountiful environment. European American settlement of the region came during the 19th century California gold rush era, with Gerlach established as a railroad town in 1906 on the Western Pacific Railroad line. The specific story of Fly Geysers' creation begins in 1916 when a well was drilled in the area to support irrigation for ranching. The well struck geothermal water heated by the Earth's internal heat, but the temperature was too hot for irrigation purposes and the well was abandoned. However, it was either not properly sealed or the seal eventually failed. For decades, nothing dramatic happened. Then, in 1964, a geothermal energy company drilled a second well at the site, seeking to test the area's energy potential. This drilling apparently intersected or destabilized the original 1916 well, and geothermally heated water under pressure found its way to the surface through the weakened area. The water, rich in dissolved minerals, began erupting continuously, and Fly Geyser was born, not through volcanic activity or tectonic forces, but through accidental human intervention. What makes Fly Geyser visually spectacular is the ongoing process of mineral deposition combined with biological colonization. The water erupting from the geyser is heated to approximately 200 degrees F deep underground and carries dissolved calcium carbonate, the same mineral that forms limestone and silica. As the superheated water reaches the surface and cools slightly, these minerals precipitate out. They change from dissolved to solid form and gradually build up layer upon layer. Over the 6 decades since 1964, this process has constructed terraced travertine mounds approximately 5 feet high and 12 feet wide, with the geyser continuously erupting from multiple vents on top. The structure grows slowly but constantly, adding a few inches each year as minerals deposit. The color comes from thermophilic algae and cyanobacteria that thrive in the hot, mineral-rich water. Different species colonize different temperature zones, creating distinct color bands. Brilliant reds and oranges dominate the hottest areas nearest the vents, while bright greens cover slightly cooler terraces, and yellows and golds accent the edges. The algae create travertine pools with psychedelic swirls of color, and mineral-laden water flowing down the mounds creates delicate, constantly changing patterns. The color intensity varies with seasons, water temperature, and mineral concentration, meaning the geysers' appearance evolves continuously. Surrounding the geyser mounds, overflow water has created a series of terraced pools extending outward, each its own shade of aquamarine, turquoise, or emerald, depending on depth, mineral content, and algae population. Steam constantly rises from these pools, especially visible on cool mornings when the contrast between hot water and cold air creates dramatic vapor clouds. The surrounding environment adds to fly geysers' otherworldly quality. The flat, barren playa extends in every direction, a white-gray expanse of cracked earth and scattered sagebrush offering little vegetation or visual relief. Against this stark background, the bright colors of fly geyser create a shocking contrast. Additional smaller geothermal features dot the property, including other hot springs and small geysers created by the same subsurface activity, and wetland areas have formed where the warm water supports plant growth, impossible elsewhere in this desert. Fly geyser in Nevada's Black Rock Desert is a continuously erupting geothermal feature accidentally created in 1964 when well drilling released geothermally heated water that built colorful travertine mounds colonized by heat-loving algae in brilliant reds, greens, and golds. Now on property owned by the Burning Man Project and accessible through limited guided tour, this psychedelic sculpture demonstrates how natural processes can transform even human accidents into something extraordinary and visually stunning. We've completed an extraordinary journey across our magnificent planet, from the alkaline shores of California's Mono Lake to the colorful eruptions of Nevada's Fly Geyser, from Australia's living reef to Bolivia's mirror-like salt plains, from Ecuador's evolutionary laboratory to Belize's underwater cathedral, and through the Philippines' chocolate-covered hills. 7 wonders, each unique, each teaching us something profound about our world and ourselves. So here's my question for you as we conclude. Which of these 7 wonders spoke to you most deeply, and why? What about it resonated with your own values, experiences, or dreams? I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. Share which location you're adding to your must-visit list, or tell us about a natural wonder you've experienced that changed your perspective. Your stories and reflections build community among travelers and nature lovers, and they remind all of us why these places matter. If you enjoyed this journey through Earth's most spectacular natural wonders, please subscribe to our channel and hit that notification bell so you never miss our explorations of extraordinary places. We are building a community of curious, adventurous souls who believe that understanding and experiencing our planet makes us better people and better stewards of the natural world. Share this video with friends and family who love nature and adventure. Spread the wonder, inspire others to explore responsibly, and help us grow this community of Earth advocates.